Let's continue our lesson. وَمَنْ يُهَاجِرْ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ يَجِدْ فِي الْأَرْضِ مُرَاغَمًا كَثِيرًا وَسَعَةً. And whoever immigrates for the cause of Allah will find on the earth many alternative locations and also abundance. In the previous ayat, we learned about hijrah. That if a person is unable to practice his deen, if a person is unable to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in a particular place, then he has no reason to stay there. He must leave. Because if a person continues in staying away from acts of worship or in disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because he is being forced by people, whether it is force that is direct or indirect, it could be peer pressure, it could be people actively stopping him. So if a person is not fulfilling his obligations because of that, and if he offers that as an excuse, that excuse will not be accepted. It is not going to be accepted. Because at the time of death, the angels, when they're going to take the soul, what are they going to ask? That what were you doing? What do you think you were doing? Fima kuntum. What state of mind were you in? What were you thinking? That you could just live here like that? How long were you supposed to live? Didn't you remember your return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And what excuse will such people offer? That we were weak. We didn't have any choice. It was other people. So what will their response be? Was the earth of Allah not big enough? Could you not go elsewhere? So this excuse is not acceptable. And in this ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala encourages us that if you think that you cannot live in a place because you're not able to practice your deen and you must go somewhere else, obviously you're going to have fears. Just imagine if you're told that you have to move from your country, from your city, from your house to another place, what do you feel? Scared. What if it doesn't work out? What if I don't find work? And remember that hijrah, yes, in the technical sense, it does refer to leaving your city, leaving your hometown and going elsewhere. But from the hadith, we also learned that al-muhajiru man hajara amma nahallahu anhu. That the muhajir is one who migrates from what Allah has forbidden him from. So for example, if a person is working in a particular place, and he finds out, he learns afterwards that this work, it has a lot of haram, so I must not do it anymore. What fear is he going to have? What if I don't find work? What if I don't have work for some time? Similarly, if a person has a house on haram, and he wishes to get rid of it, what fear does he have? What if I don't find a good enough house? What if I lose my work? Then what am I going to do? So, whenever a person is leaving something for the sake of Allah, he always has this fear. That what if this happens? Or what if it doesn't happen? What does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say over here? That وَمَنْ يُهَاجِرْ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. Whoever immigrates for the cause of Allah. The only niyyah, the only intention behind his hijrah is to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So fi sabilillah is understood as sincerely for the sake of Allah. To earn Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's pleasure. To practice His deen. And fi sabilillah is also understood as to serve the deen of Allah. To spread the deen of Allah. So وَمَنْ يُهَاجِرْ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ يَجِدْ فِي الْأَرْضِ. He will find in the earth مُرَاغَمًا كَثِيرًا. Many places of refuge. The word muragham is from the root letters Ra, Ghain, Mim. It is from the root letters Ra, Ghain, Mim. Ragham. And ragham is when something is, or when someone is humiliated. Because ragham primarily is used for dirt, for soil. And raghama, you may have heard of the expression raghima anfuhu, that may his nose be rubbed into dust. So what does it mean? May he be humiliated. It's an expression. So raghima anfuhu. So from this muragham is a place where a person finds refuge, where a person finds retreat, and his enemy is humiliated. Because his enemy cannot harm him. He is saved. He is protected. And the enemy who's been trying to harm him, he cannot harm him anymore. So the enemy is humiliated. So muraghaman kathiran, what does it mean by this? That he will find in the earth many places of refuge, meaning he will find a place where he can escape to, where he can be safe from the enemy. His enemy will be rubbed into dust on knowing that the believer is successful. And we see that when the Sahaba, when they migrated from Makkah, from different places to Medina, they reached Medina, and we all know about how the Ansar welcomed them. Especially when the Prophet ﷺ came, how almost everybody wanted him to stay in his house. So muraghaman kathiran, he will find many places of refuge in the earth. Many places to live in. Wasa'atan, and also abundance. The word sa'a is from the root letters waw, sin, ain. From the word wus'a. And what does wus'a mean? Vastness, capacity, spaciousness. And the word sa'a is used for the spaciousness, the vastness of a place. So literally when a place is big, it has a lot of space, it has a lot of capacity, when you can put a lot in it. And remember that it's not necessarily by the bigness of the size. So for example, it's not necessary that if a building is 50,000 square feet, then it has a lot of wus'a. No. Wus'a is when you can fit a lot, when you can do a lot in that same place. So it is vastness in place. Similarly, it is used for the vastness of the state of something. It is also used for the vastness or the abundance of a person's action, meaning when a person performs a particular action a lot. So, wasa'atan, and he will also find abundance, meaning he will find abundance and vastness in rizq, in provision. That you think all of your rizq is going to be here? No. You leave it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will replace it for you with something that is much better. He will open the doors of provision for you. Similarly, this vastness is not just in rizq, but it is also in deen, in ibadah. That just imagine, you're living in a particular place and you're hiding. You're fearful because of your faith. You can't pray with khushu'. You can't recite Qur'an. And if you go elsewhere, then you have more abundance in practicing your deen. Isn't it so? Just imagine if you're with a particular friend, with a particular person, who are not that practicing, who don't read the Qur'an much, who don't remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala much. Are you going to have sa'a in your deen with them? No. But if you are with another person who is more in deen, are you going to have sa'a in your deen? Yes, you are. Automatically you're going to increase in your amal, in your dhikr. So sa'a in rizq, similarly in deen, and in other ways as well, that a person will have many opportunities. He will get a lot of benefits of dunya as well as his deen. So muraghaman kathiran wa sa'a. وَمَنْ يَخْرُجْ مِنْ بَيْتِهِ, and whoever leaves, whoever goes out of his house, with what niyyah? Being a muhajiran, being an immigrant. And where is he migrating to? إِلَى اللَّهِ, to Allah, wa rasulihi, and to His Messenger. What does it mean by this? He is migrating to Allah. To Allah and His Messenger, meaning to a place where he can worship Allah and obey His Messenger. And specifically, in the context it refers to migrating to Medina. So muhajiran ila Allahi wa rasulihi, summa yudrikhu al-maut, and then death overtakes him. Yudrikhu, from dal rakaf, idrak, to catch up with something, to overtake something. So then death overtakes him. What does it mean? That he dies on the way and he does not reach the destination. He does not reach the place where he is doing hijrah to. فَقَدْ وَقَعَ أَجْرُهُ عَلَى اللَّهِ. Then in fact, his reward became incumbent upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Meaning it has become fixed. The word waqa'a, what does it mean literally? To fall down, to occur. And from this, it is also used for something becoming mandatory. It has fallen, meaning it has happened. When something has fallen, what does it mean? It has occurred, it has happened already. So similarly, the promise of reward is as though it has already been fulfilled. It's definite. It's as certain as if it has already been fulfilled. So فَقَدْ وَقَعَ أَجْرُهُ عَلَى اللَّهِ. His reward has become incumbent upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Meaning it is fixed with Allah. Allah will definitely give it to him. وَكَانَ اللَّهُ غَفُورًا رَحِيمًا. And Allah is forgiving and He is also merciful. We learn that there was a man who left Makkah in order to migrate to Medina. But on the way he died. He left Makkah and he was doing hijrah to Medina. And on the way he died. It is said that he died at Tan'im. And it's only a few miles from Makkah. So the people said, how sad. How sad. He left, but he never reached Medina, so he will never get the reward of hijrah. How sad that he left Makkah, he never reached Medina, and therefore he will never get the reward of his hijrah. Why? Because he never really reached the destination. So it is said that then this ayah was revealed that no, if a person leaves his house even in order to do hijrah, and even though he doesn't reach the destination, still it is as though he has done his hijrah. Why? Because of his niyyah. So what does this ayah teach us? The importance of correct intention. The importance of right intention. Of correct intention. That if a person, because first of all it has been said that وَمَن يُهَاجِرْ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. And then at the end also, what is mentioned? The importance of the correct intention. So from both of these points, we learn about the importance of correct niyyah, that if a person does hijrah for the right reason, then he will get the reward that has been promised in this ayah. And if he migrates for some other reason, then he will not get the reward that is mentioned in this ayah. The Prophet ﷺ said, إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ وَإِنَّمَا لِكُلِّ امْرِئٍ مَا نَوَى فَمَنْ كَانَتْ هِجْرَتُهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ فهجرته إلى الله ورسوله ومن كانت هجرته إلى دنيا يصيبها أو امرأة يتزوجها فهجرته إلى ما هاجر إليه. The reward of deeds depends upon the intentions. And every person will be rewarded according to what he has intended. So, whoever migrated to Allah and His Messenger, then his migration is for Allah and His Messenger. And whoever did hijrah for worldly benefits or for a woman to marry, then his migration is for what he migrated for. For what he did hijrah for. Then he's not going to get the reward of migrating for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if a person is going somewhere to fulfill his dream, then he cannot say, no, I'm migrating for the sake of Allah. No. You're going to get more dunya, to make more money. So, you cannot say that, okay, this is my hijrah for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I left my home country, I came here. No. You get the reward according to what? According to your intention, according to your niyyah. So first of all, this shows us that even if a person is doing such a big, such an important deed, such as hijrah, and if his niyyah is incorrect, then what? He will not get his reward. So this shows to us that no matter what deed a person is performing, no matter how big or how small, what is important? The intention. It has to be for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We also learn from this ayah about the blessings of hijrah, the benefits of hijrah. That there are many, many benefits of hijrah. And amongst them being, مُرَاغَمًا كَثِيرًا وَسَعًا. That many places of refuge as well as abundance. So among the blessings of hijrah are the many opportunities that open up for a person. You see, when a person is in his house, in his home country, or he is living his closed life, that he wakes up every morning, goes to work, comes back home, he's not challenged by any situation, then what happens? Whatever is out there in the world, he is blind to it. But when he says, okay, I cannot do this anymore, let me try something else. Let me try something else. This job is not halal. Let me try something else. And when he tries something else, the doors of many opportunities open for him. He can learn so many things. Similarly, if a person is just in his home country, or he is in a place where he's living, a secret life, a private life, struggling to live as a believer, then he doesn't know about what's out there in the world. If he leaves that, goes elsewhere, then he will learn about so many things. And many times we're very close-minded. We want to live in our comfort zone, in our shoe boxes. We don't want to get out. And if we get out, then we will see what's out there in the world. Then we will be able to avail the opportunities that are out there. It's easy to live your own closed life. But when you're forced to do hijrah, leave your comfort zone, take something else, go somewhere else, then you learn about different things. We also learn from this ayah that of the blessings of hijrah are good alternates. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provides good alternates to a person. Why do you think that what you're doing is really the best for you? It's possible that you leave it and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provides you with something that is much better. Why do you think that this house that you're living in, which is bought on haram, is really the best for you? It's possible you go elsewhere and really that house works best for you. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provides good alternatives to the person who does hijrah. We also learn that of the blessings of hijrah are freedom. Because it is mentioned sa'ah. What is sa'ah? Vastness. You have freedom, and everybody loves freedom. We also learn that when a person does hijrah, then the condition is not that he reaches the destination, but that he makes the intention and leaves. He makes the intention and leaves. Now, whether or not he reaches the destination, that doesn't matter. What's the important thing? The intention and beginning the action. Starting the action. And from this we learn that if a person starts something good, but he is unable to complete it because of his death, then his ajr is due upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. His ajr is definitely going to be given to him. When? When he starts something good. When he starts something good and he had the intention to complete it, but he wasn't able to complete it because of his death. So, it is as though he actually did the whole thing. And many times what happens? We want to start doing something good. But what do we say? No, I can't do it right now. I'm too busy. For example, you want to memorize a part of the Quran. Let's say a particular surah, a particular juz, and you think that no, I can't do it right now. I'm too busy. Maybe later on when I'm free, then I will start. But if you start even with one ayah, especially the 30th juz, the ayat are so short. If every day you target 2 ayat, 1 line, so inshallah by the end of the week, by the end of a month, you will have memorized a lot. Start at least. Why do you think that just because you cannot complete it, you shouldn't start it? Start. And inshallah, if you continue, Allah will give you the tawfiq to complete it as well. And if you don't complete it, at least you will get the reward for your niyyah. Not just your niyyah, but the fact that you started it. Even if it was just a little steps. Just small steps. Baby steps. But because you made the niyyah, you started, inshallah you will get the reward. So never hesitate in starting something good.